Imagine your day. From the moment the sun rises over the city skyline, millions of people begin their routines, often without a second thought about the invisible forces powering their lives. You wake up to a smartphone alarm, the gentle buzz and glow of your device marking the start of another day. You might step into an electric car, gliding quietly through the city streets, your commute powered by advanced technology. At work, you log onto a computer, send emails, and connect with colleagues around the world, all thanks to devices that rely on something most of us never consider. The secret behind this seamless modern life? Rare earth elements. These are a group of 17 metallic elements, each with unique magnetic, catalytic, and luminescent properties that make them essential to our technology. Rare earths are the unsung heroes that make our devices smaller, our screens brighter, and our energy cleaner. They're found in the tiniest components of smartphones, the batteries of electric vehicles, and the circuitry of computers. Think about the vivid colors on your TV, the crisp sound from your headphones, or the silent spin of wind turbines generating renewable energy. Rare earths are at the heart of these innovations, enabling progress in ways we rarely see. Despite their name, some rare earths are actually quite abundant in the Earth's crust. However, extracting and refining them is a complex, costly, and often environmentally challenging process. Mining can leave scars on landscapes and requires careful management to avoid pollution. Because of these challenges, the supply chains for rare earths are highly concentrated in just a few countries. This makes them not only valuable but also geopolitically sensitive as nations compete for access and control. Rare earths are more than just commodities, they're strategic assets. They shape the development of cutting-edge technology, influence national security, and are crucial to the global shift toward clean energy solutions. Their availability affects everything from the defense systems that protect nations to the ambitious climate goals set by world leaders. Without rare earths, many of the technologies driving progress would simply not exist. To truly understand the forces shaping our future, we must understand rare earths, their science, their supply, and their significance in our interconnected world. As we explore further, you'll discover how control over these elements is at the center of global power dynamics, influencing trade, diplomacy, and even the balance of power between nations. The story of rare earths is about more than just science. It's a tale of economics, strategy, and the relentless drive for technological advancement. It's about how nations position themselves for the future and how innovation depends on resources hidden deep within the earth. So let's dive deeper into the world of rare earth elements and discover why these unseen materials matter so much to our lives, our economies, and our planet's future. Rare earth elements, or REs, are a fascinating group of 17 metallic elements that play a crucial role in our modern world. Despite their name, these elements aren't actually all that rare in the Earth's crust. What makes them special is their unique chemical properties and the vital part they play in advanced technology. The group includes the 15 lanthanides as well as scandium and yttrium, which are often found together in mineral deposits. On the periodic table, they're clustered in a special section, and each has its own set of remarkable characteristics. For example, cerium is actually more abundant than copper, and many of these elements are scattered widely across the globe. However, they rarely occur in concentrated, easily accessible deposits, making extraction a real challenge. The real difficulty lies in separating and refining them from the surrounding material. This process is not only technically complex but also expensive and can have significant environmental impacts, including toxic waste and water pollution. Because of these challenges, many countries have reduced or even halted their rare earth production, resulting in a global supply chain dominated by just a handful of major suppliers, which creates vulnerabilities. Rare earth elements are essential for a wide range of high-tech applications. They power the motors in electric vehicles, enable the efficient generation of renewable energy in wind turbines, and are critical for the transmission of data through fiber optic networks. In consumer electronics, REs are found in your smartphone's screen, speakers, and even the tiny vibration motor that lets you know when you've received a message. The medical field also depends on them, using rare earths in MRI contrast agents to help doctors see inside the body, and in surgical lasers for precise, minimally invasive procedures. Defense industries rely heavily on rare earths for advanced technologies like precision-guided munitions, radar systems, and night vision equipment, making them critical for national security. Any disruption in the supply of these elements can have immediate and far-reaching consequences, affecting everything from consumer products to military readiness and global trade. Thanks to their unique magnetic, luminescent, and electrochemical properties, rare earth elements have become truly indispensable to modern life, driving innovation and shaping the future of technology in ways most people never realize. When it comes to rare earths, China dominates the global supply chain. Through strategic planning and investment, China controls most mining and, crucially, the complex refining processes. Today, China produces over 60% of rare earths and handles more than 85% of global processing. This concentration creates a deep dependency for industries worldwide, from cars to defense. Policy shifts or disruptions in China can ripple through global markets, affecting prices and availability. Western countries once led production but scaled back due to environmental and cost concerns, ceding ground to China. Deng Xiaoping once said, "The Middle East has oil, China has rare earths," a strategy that's paid off. Now, the world faces the challenge of balancing innovation with supply chain vulnerability. China's control over rare earths has led to strategic moves, including export quotas that have shaken global markets. In 2010, a sudden quota cut sent prices soaring and alarmed buyers worldwide. Since then, China has consolidated its industry, increasing state control and keeping markets on edge. Recently, there are signs China may speed up export license approvals, especially for the EU and US. This could ease short-term supply concerns and stabilize prices. But memories of past disruptions linger, fueling ongoing efforts to diversify supply. Faster paperwork won't erase deep-seated worries about over-reliance on a single supplier. The world remains cautious, seeking resilience in the face of uncertainty. Is China's export easing a gesture of goodwill or a strategic move? On one hand, it could be an effort to maintain market share and avoid pushing buyers to seek alternatives. On the other, it might be a calculated play to slow down diversification efforts elsewhere. If Western companies feel less urgency, they may invest less in new mines and processing. Most likely, it's a mix of both, balancing diplomacy with long-term strategy. For policymakers, reading China's intentions remains a high-stakes challenge. The impact of rare earth supply disruptions is immediate and far-reaching. When the flow of these critical minerals is interrupted, the effects ripple across industries and continents, often with little warning. Rare earths are the backbone of modern technology, and their absence is felt almost instantly in the global marketplace. The auto industry, for example, has faced production halts due to shortages of materials, including rare earths. Automakers rely on these elements for everything from electric motors to advanced safety systems. When supplies dry up, assembly lines grind to a halt, vehicles remain unfinished, and consumers face long delays for new cars. Wind turbine makers depend on neodymium magnets. Any scarcity raises costs and slows green energy projects. Delays in turbine production can stall the rollout of renewable energy, making it harder for countries to meet their climate targets and transition away from fossil fuels. Consumer electronics manufacturers closely monitor rare earth markets, as even minor hiccups can disrupt production. Smartphones, laptops, and countless other devices all depend on these minerals. A single supply chain glitch can lead to shortages on store shelves and higher prices for consumers. Startups are especially vulnerable, lacking the resources to weather supply shocks. For these smaller companies, a sudden spike in material costs or a missed shipment can threaten their very survival, stifling innovation and competition in the tech sector. The ripple effects include lost revenue, job cuts, and stifled innovation. Entire communities can feel the pain, as factories close and workers are laid off, leading to economic hardship and uncertainty. Green technologies, EVs, solar panels, efficient lighting, all rely on stable rare earth supplies. Without them, the push for cleaner energy and sustainable solutions slows dramatically, putting climate goals at risk. Any threat to access can slow climate progress and raise global costs. As prices climb, projects become less viable, and the world's transition to a low-carbon future becomes more challenging. This isn't just an economic issue, it's about environmental and societal goals. The stability of rare earth supply chains underpins efforts to build a cleaner, more equitable world, affecting everything from job creation to global cooperation. Rare earths are a linchpin for the world's sustainable future. ensuring their steady supply is essential not only for technological progress, but for the health of our planet and the well-being of future generations. To reduce dependence on China, countries are racing to diversify rare earth supplies. The US is investing in new mines, cleaner processing, and strategic stockpiles. The EU's Critical Raw Materials Act aims to boost domestic sourcing, recycling, and global partnerships. Australia is developing both mining and processing, aiming to offer a full supply chain alternative. These efforts face hurdles, high costs, strict regulations, and China's established expertise. Building new supply chains takes years and major investment. Still, the strategic need for alternatives is driving global action. The world is betting on resilience over reliance. Can the world truly break free from China's rare earth grip? Diversification promises stable prices, new industries, and greater security. But replicating China's scale and expertise is a massive, long-term challenge. New projects face high costs, strict environmental rules, and public scrutiny. China's integrated supply chain keeps its products competitive. Full independence is unlikely soon, but reducing critical dependencies is realistic. Recycling, alternative materials, and targeted sourcing are key strategies. The future is about gradual diversification, not instant decoupling. The rare earth landscape will remain dynamic and strategically charged. China's policy shifts highlight the ongoing complexity and global stakes. Nations must invest in new sources, research, and international partnerships. Diversification is challenging but essential for resilience. Innovation in recycling and alternative materials could reshape the market. Collaboration between governments, industry, and scientists is crucial. The quest for material security is driving 21st century progress. Rare earths show how geology, economics, and politics intersect in our world. Everyone is affected by the control of these unseen elements. The story of rare earths will remain central to global technology and power.